Hi everyone. So it's day 88 and till now in the second iteration we have covered almost all the APIs. Now there's two or three things which we left off, that is caching and mail setup. So to set the caching we will just check the Jira that what the caching we will what the task we have first, caching or mail. So if mailer will be first, we will do mailer. If caching will be there, we will do caching. So in the backend development, we have caching first. So let's mark it as in progress and we will start working on caching. So first of all, what is caching? So it is nothing but a process to store the temporary thing, to have a temporary storage before having any operation, or for quicker operation we store at somewhere else for which we can fetch that thing quickly. And also we caching can be used at places like for the database operation, so that the API calls shouldn't hit multiple database operation at one go. So at that time we use caching. So caching is just a mechanism. So for the exact definition, so let me show you. So it's a computation technique which increases the performance, right? And we just store the copies for high speed storage location and temporary data access. So we are working on that part, and today we will set up that in our code. So let's go to the code, and if you see we are on the configuration page. So I'm just pasting few things like we will set up these things. So to do that, let me do this way: app.config replace with nothing, and then with this we will replace with nothing. So for this we need to install Redis. So let me install Redis. Now I have to install Redis where? In the in the terminal itself or in your system itself. So I'm using WSL. So basically it's a Linux Ubuntu based system. So I'm writing the command sudo apt get install Redis server. So it already have. All right. So we already have Redis server. Now let me go to the requirement.txt and let me add one more thing, that is Flask caching. So to show you Flask caching, so if you go to the documentation, you will see it is used for caching technique, and we can write caching techniques. Multiple caching techniques are there, and we will using that same technique. If you see in the config, caching type is Redis. So we are just using that. So let me import it here. From Flask caching, import cache, and we will add that cache here in the application. So it would not be the same name. So cache, yes, using a small letter. Now we have to use this cache everywhere or any places we want in the APIs. So let me do that. Let's say in the count API, I'm using this multiple times. So let me import from Flask. Import current app as app. Now we will use @ app.cache dot caching. Time it goes to 10 seconds. Now let me go to cd backend source venv/bin/activate. So I'm just starting doing the requirement, installing requirement.txt. By the time, let's see, we have also set up this. Cache.cache, not caching. Install-r. Brad. So we are using the same thing. So now we also have to run the Redis. Instead of this, let me delete this and add another WSL. cd backend. Now I have to run server. So it is saying any use sudo stop Redis server. That is sudo system. Just let me check that. systemctl. So it's not systemctl. It's starting. Then we will start this to check our code is working or not. Because if this is an error, that error will get reflected in the app.py. So no Redis module found. So what we will do in the requirement.txt, we will add salary Redis and we will download this. So there are functions you can see. We can add key prefix which will define the prefixes. We can make a custom caching key and that can be used. Then we have the memorization method. So memorization nothing but remember, if one time anything happens, if it repeated time, it will not store that thing. It will just memorize that thing and it can be used. We are getting some error. You see salary Redis. Install. Now it works. Yeah. So it's just mistake of quotations. Why I'm downloading the salary. So at later stage, if we need to make some of the worker-based classes or microservice architecture or some schedule-based things, we will use those things. So we will going to use that lab out when we use it. So to let you know, I'm just using this. Just downloading this caching technique. We are using this Redis caching. You can see we have used these things and Redis is running. That error will not occur. If error occur, we will resolve that and that the task for today, and we will be ready with the thing. So to know you where we are, we'll check library and we will see all of those things. Like the things which I installed right now is Vishy with Wine TZ. So Python date util, it should have been added. So now everything is added. You will find this in the VNV folder itself. So if I run this, I hope there will be no error. But the error we get, we are getting this error. Yes, this error is from working outside the application context. App.py. So what we can do here, we can simply use the same method that we will use this cache equals to app.cache, and then we can use this. Now it will work. If it's work, we can use it at multiple places. Still, we get the same error. Let's remove this as app. But we used current app. The it is not importing this basically. So there is something that is missing. If it's outside the context level, we can do this thing as well. We'll take nothing, but we will do this. But if I do this, still it is out of the context. Let me move this here. So let me try the same thing here. I guess we will get some error. No error. So I need to understand this. Okay. So we will find out more methods to directly use in it. Nothing to worry about. So this is the one way where we set the caching, and similarly we will make functions call in multiple places, and tomorrow I will try to find out a better way so that we can actually access those things. So that is the task for tomorrow. So let's mark this stream here, pause this stream here, and come back tomorrow for Redis complete setup, and then we will start working on email part. Thank you.